It's wild. It's hard to find people that actually see that there's still hope for society. It's sad because if you think about it, when you lose hope for something, it's almost like you're saying it's not going to work out and people are just doomed. When you lose hope for something, you're choosing to give your power to whatever you think there's no hope for, simply because of the fact that you think nothing's ever going to change. But the truth is, the way that change happens is when you have enough people that all want to do their role in part. But a lot of times people will just think like, no, you know what? I'm going to let that person play that role. I'm just going to sit here and not do anything, and I'm going to let that person play that role. There's already enough people doing stuff. And so you forget how important it is for you to take initiative to play your part in making a better society. Because there's so much programming going on right now as we speak where they are creating so much separation between people so that people don't unite together. Because what happens is if everyone unites together, regardless of not having the same viewpoints about everything, then the current power, let's make that clear. The current powers that be lose control because it's almost like when you believe something so strongly, or even if you don't believe it, but you make it into this thing that's believed, which is pretty much society, right? Like currently society as a whole has beliefs on certain things that aren't true, but because we were programmed to believe it, that's how society operates. So it operates on a lie. Because if you're programmed to believe something, whether it's a lie or not, the subconscious is going to believe it because it was programmed to believe that. You have to actively, consciously choose to change the narrative of what you were given when you were a child, being programmed to believe a certain way, or even when you became an adult, when certain situations happened to you that really fucking hurt and didn't feel good. And if you took on the belief of, no, that's not possible for me anymore because this has happened in the past, then you're telling your brain, okay, it's not a possibility anymore. And then you're limiting yourself to believing that only one thing is going to be possible because of what's happened to you in the past. And so the hope is lost. And so the more hope that's lost with society as a whole, the more the current powers that be benefit, because when somebody loses hope, it's easier to control them. And so they're winning because it's like people are just like, oh, well, there's no hope for society. And so they're feeling more of that energy to the belief of what they want you to believe. They want you to just give up and quit and take society at face value and think that nothing's ever going to get better. Oh, AI took over the world. Oh, what do you call it? Men and women are going to constantly battle against each other. Relationships are going to be somebody's always going to get used, or you can only now view men as money. You can only now view women as money, as an object to use for her body, which is ridiculous if you think about it. And that's a whole nother topic. But it is ridiculous if you think about it. The level of programming that's happened in society, and people have fallen for the constant lies that they've told us about what's possible for us. And so because society believes it as a whole, they have more of a chokehold on the illusion due to the fact that the more that people believe their current program of life, the more energy is being fueled into that belief versus what's actually true. And what's actually true is we were meant, there is a timeline that's possible for men and women to not battle against each other. There is a timeline that's possible where you do find peace in your life and whatever's currently bothering you leaves. And you end up feeling fulfilled inside. There is a timeline for you where you don't feel any voids inside. You feel so fucking whole inside that you're just like, wow. It feels liberating. And to steal that and to strip that away from people so that people lose hope that there is a timeline for society to feel free is sad, because there is a timeline like that exists. It's just as long as people think that everybody else outside of them is the problem, they're never going to find their actual gift. Because the majority of time, when you're seeing something through the lens of a specific perception, a lot of times there is a hidden gift in that message. But you have to be willing to look underneath the covers, take the covers off and look underneath and find out what is the hidden message that it's trying to teach you. As an example, relationships. If you think that person is the enemy, I promise you there is something that you currently can extract from that specific moment in time that happened that can liberate you so intensely that your life changes. Because within that relationship, there was a truth that you were meant to see and be able to gain the wisdom from and allow it to evolve you into a higher person, a higher version of yourself. Because you integrate at deeper levels once you look at relationships like that. Rather than constantly seeing the other person as an enemy, you try to get still and be able to decipher and understand, what is this current moment in time trying to teach me? What is this current moment in time trying to let me finally see, so I can evolve even higher? And then once you start doing that, the outside world is no longer seen as something that can't have hope for it. Because there's so much hope. There's more than hope. There's so much beautiful things that have yet to happen for this planet. And so the more that people can fuel and feed their energy into that understanding, the more we can send energy to that timeline versus the old paradigm of how they currently want people to stay entrapped in.